Well, first off, I will say that a lot of people see the aircraft and they go, wow, look at all those buttons and switches and all this stuff you have to push. And I always say, you know, anybody can get used to doing it, anything, as long as you practice enough. For me, to get out and get in the helicopter right now, it's just like going out and getting my car, basically. Like, you know, I do it so much. Flying a helicopter, probably the most tricky part, obviously, flying a helicopter is hovering, keeping it in one place. So taking off and landing are the part that's the most tricky, and it takes probably the longest to learn when you learn how to fly a helicopter.
To become a LifeEvac paramedic can be fairly complicated. To become any flight paramedic can be fairly complicated. It takes a little bit of experience, quite a bit of experience.
We've got 16, 17 pilots in the LifeEvac community right now, and I think all but one are formal or prior military. And probably the reason that is because it's difficult to get enough experience in flight time in a helicopter without paying an arm and leg to get this type of job.
I have always loved flying, so the attraction to this job to combine nursing and flying, I mean, that's just the ultimate. So the attraction was to get the job. It's a very hard job to get. It's very competitive, so I'm very lucky to be in this role, very lucky. It took me 10 years to get this job.
You kind of have to have the World War III mindset. In other words, you've got to be prepared to handle whatever's thrown at you and smile while you're doing it. You've got to be prepared to take care of a sick child in the morning, a 105-year-old guy in the afternoon, a trauma patient for one call, and a medical patient for the next. So you just got to be prepared for any potential thing that may come along.
The wide population that LifeEvac cares for can be anything from a geriatric patient at the end of their life and having to assist in those decisions and providing the care until they get to that point, to monitoring a woman who could deliver at any minute.
We'll generally get a call over our handheld radios, and we'll make the decision whether to go primarily based on the weather.
Everything really, quite honestly, comes back to safety.
At that point, we'll gather our gear. A lot of it will be in the helicopter already, and then we'll come out to the helicopter. And we're usually airborne within a few minutes to get going. So we'll generally have the helicopter and our equipment ready to go.
We got you, man. You ready? And 1, 2, go. Is that better? Good. And whenever you're ready. Good to go? We're good to go. One more bump, man.
We actually gave a ride to a young cancer patient. His wish was to have a helicopter ride. So we went to the hospital and we landed, and we gave his father and him a ride. He was maybe 9 years old, bald from chemo. But just his spirit, was so great. That'll stick with me. Him and his dad passing out Live Strong vans. We're going around the city. That big smile that was put on his face. It's nice to get the opportunity to do those types of things. Playing Santa Claus on Christmas on the pediatric ward. It's a good one.
I think before being a mom and flying was easier to take care of kids, but now that I'm a mom, I'm a better mom, and a better parent, and a better nurse because I've had kids. But I do think I do get a little bit more attached to the kids, but I'm more aware of cognitively where those kids are. So emotionally, I would have to say I'm a little bit more emotional with taking care of kids, but I mean, I don't get too emotional until afterwards. I start thinking about my family, you know, how does that apply to my child, and it makes me very blessed with my kids.
It happens to you, even though sometimes you'll try and stay disconnected personally. You know, you'll think, oh, it's not my problem, this is their problem. You know, just to keep your mind clear. There can be things that are difficult to deal with. Some folks dealing with children are difficult. Some folks, it's people that resemble other folks from their lives and whatnot. So I've had that happen to me, and it's just something that it comes with the territory, unfortunately.
Right now, I'm just checking the truck, making sure that we have all the equipment that we need for a night of action.
It's kind of fun. Makes it easy to introduce ourselves. We're Jamie.
Alright, I think we're ready to go.
We catch black all the time. It's really hard walking into a house and somebody asks, where's the men?
To get to different scenes, we usually just use the map book. Like my partner will help me get to the call by reading the map book, and we have Marvelous, which helps us a little bit.
Our last patient was a driver of a car accident. She was a hit-and-run accident. The other driver of the vehicle was actually a drunk driver, which is actually a really good example of why you shouldn't drink and drive. The other driver fled the scene because she was afraid of getting caught. They did catch her down the road. She will probably be convicted of a DUI. Looks like you got like a little kind of rug burn almost. Do you have anything fun planned for St. Patrick's Day?
No.
Did you wear green?
When was it? Today?
It's today.
Oh, I have on a cookie shirt. I didn't think about that.
Good thing there's green on your purse. You can move it here often?
Not really, no. I was delivering Girl Scout cookies.
Somebody got some Girl Scout cookies.
That's where she was going. She was delivering Girl Scout cookies. Yeah.
We love Girl Scout cookies.
It's amazing how you can have a DUI that's not even 8 o'clock at night. So, welcome to St. Patrick's Day. It's going to be a long night. I bet they decided to land on the roof. The worst part about our job, especially for most people, is probably pediatric deaths. Because of the demographics of this city specifically, we have what I would call a high number of pediatric deaths. Little kids get shot here, things like that, and you know, they get stabbed, and they may just be bystanders.
Critical a patient is, and that determines how fast we want to actually get to the hospital. But we determine that after we actually get on scene.
Okay, let this go. We're gonna replace that with this, okay? Can we cut this jacket?
No. I'm cut down here. This is just.
It doesn't matter. We need to get it off. Okay, we have to get it off, dear.
I got it.
Okay, all it is bloody. So we have to just find a way to get it off, okay?
Can you keep off with the jacket?
Yeah.
It's legendary. It's legendary now because I blended it.
Okay. If you help me get it off,
Right,
okay?
hold.
We just need to get your...
Let me work with you. Hold.
Okay. You want me to hold this and you take it off?
I need it.
Here. You get everything ready. Alright, I need it.
It's rough, huh?
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to see if there's 2 different ones. I want you to hold right there. As hard as you can, okay?